Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful, crisp Sunday morning. I wasn't actually going to have a video today. I'll show you what was going on yesterday. And I just came out to, well, I see the roadside stand that got cleared out once again. But I was just going through some emails. I've been getting a lot of emails lately, more so than usual. I get quite a few comments all the time, but I think when people want a little more in-depth information, they email me. So there is the roadside stand. Yesterday, I refilled it. Friday, it got cleaned out. Saturday morning, I refilled it, and now I'm gonna have to make some bundles and refill a few slots this morning. Have to do that once again. But that is one of the things that I get asked about in these emails is like, what do I need to do to start, either a business with firewood or a side hustle with firewood or a side hustle with YouTube or a side hustle business as a content creator. There's all these different avenues that, you can actually take. And that's kind of how I started, with the idea of selling firewood. And then that kind of just morphed into a side hustle selling firewood, which then became a side hustle of YouTube. So there's a side hustle of a side hustle. Yeah, kind of crazy. I'm gonna check the boiler here quick as well. And then we will get into answering that question about what you need. Oh, geez. Turn the light on here. Boiler is looking good, sitting at 169 for temp, but look at this. 3 chunks of wood left. So I'm gonna have to refill that today. And then I gotta make some bundles. But I think, I've only got, what do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bundles, 4 bags left for bundles. So I'm gonna have to get some more bags. I'm gonna have to once again refill the totes. This is what yesterday I was out, I refilled the stand in the morning, and then I cleared out some snow to drive back to the wood yard, and then I ended up making, the little boss man wanted a pile of snow to play on. So I piled up as high as I could a little snow for him. So back to the whole question about what you need to get started in either, like I said, either a side hustle selling firewood or potentially a side hustle creating content for social media. So when I started with firewood, I began selling in the winter because I thought that was, that's the way I grew up. I grew up burning firewood for heat. I never had it on my radar to sell firewood for recreational use, like fire pits, campfires, bundles. And that's where things really took off. And that's why the roadside stand came to be. Now, I know a lot of people will say, firewood, I'm just running a little side hustle, a little hobby. I'm not really a firewood producer. I'm not really a firewood supplier. I shouldn't consider myself a business. And that's fine. I don't know if there's a set amount of cords you need to sell each year to be considered a firewood producer. I never looked into that. I did, however. I am a registered business. I am an LLC. That's mostly for the content creation side of things. So my side hustle of selling firewood through the roadside stand started my YouTube channel and then my content creation path. And I will tell you that the content creation path is I enjoy just as much, if not more, than the firewood. And with firewood, I need to produce, you can see here my 2 totes are empty, so I need to produce a lot of firewood just for myself. And so that's why I've always considered selling firewood as a side hustle, side hobby. You know, something in addition to what I produce for my own personal use. But I always get asked, okay, back to the whole, I'm rambling on here. It's Sunday morning, I know, and so I always get asked, what do you need to get started? What should I have? Should I buy a splitter? Should I buy a chainsaw? Should I get a dump trailer? Should I get a truck? Should I get a tractor? Should I get a skid steer? And my answer to all of those is none. None of the above. Nothing. You don't need any of that stuff. The number one thing you need to get started, whether it be in a business, in a side hustle, whatever it is, the number one thing you need, self-awareness. That is the most important thing that I see missed. The missed opportunity, not really opportunity. That's the one thing I see that's lacking. There you go, lacking with a lot of people all the time. No matter what the niche, no matter what the category of, business, side hustle, whatever it is. The one thing that's always seems to be overlooked is self-awareness. And what I mean by that is this. If I would have started, when I started thinking about selling firewood, if I would have had, if I would have been like, all right, I'm going to make 50 cords, I'm going to get loads of logs, I'm going to do all that. Like, I don't have the space to do that. I didn't have the money to invest to do that. I didn't have the time to invest to make that happen. So if I would have set out down that path, I would have set myself up ultimately for failure. Bottom line. There's no way I would have been able to sustain that and get it going, and it wouldn't have happened. So I looked at my current situation, the space I had, the amount of wood I needed to produce for myself, and then I figured out that, yes, I can make enough firewood for myself and possibly have a little extra left over. And with that little extra left over, let's see how it goes selling. Well, starting out, I was selling face cords. November, started selling them for the winter, right? Because I thought everybody burned wood in the winter. Nobody burns wood. They don't burn wood in the summer. Firewood's for heating. But then I kind of realized that I didn't really enjoy delivering, backing trailers into driveways, unloading, dumping a big pile in somebody's yard. Like, I just didn't enjoy that. And so I adjusted. I was aware I didn't enjoy doing that. I was also then aware that all of a sudden that spring, when I started selling way more wood in the spring and summer than I did the previous fall and winter, I had the self-awareness to say to myself, you need to sell more wood in the summer. You need to focus on recreational firewood. And that's what I did. I focused on what I enjoyed doing, was making the firewood. I didn't enjoy really delivering it, so I made the roadside stand. I didn't want to box myself into needing to meet production quotas. I didn't want to have to have every day, a cord split every day so that I could maintain and keep up with demand. I wanted to just go into it with a mindset of whatever I do above and beyond is meeting expectations. So if I sell 3 stacks and 5 bundles, I'm good. If I sell 15 bundles and 10 stacks, hey, even better. So I think that's the one thing I give advice to people now, as I say, what are your expectations and can you meet those expectations? Have the self-awareness to say, hey, it's going to be tough for me to produce 10 cords a month. I don't know if I can do that. So then don't buy a commercial grade log splitter. Don't look at, buying a processor. Don't look at getting a whole bunch of chainsaws or a new truck or a dump trailer or a skid steer or whatever it is. Start out with what you know you can do and go from there. And if you never go any further, you still succeeded because you're starting to do what you wanted to do. So, you get on these Facebook groups and you get on some videos and you see people talking about, 100 chords this, 100 chords that, and, this is how you're supposed to be as a firewood supplier. You gotta, the more. But sometimes, doing more, making more is not always the road to being happy with what you're doing. And having that self-awareness to know what do you need to do just to be happy, just to, consider yourself a success. Like I consider my roadside stand a huge success. I am grateful beyond words how nice it is to produce what I want, sell what I, as much as I can, whatever. I started out, the nice thing about the roadside stand is that on Friday nights we like to order pizza. And so if every week I could sell $20 out of the roadside stand, I was happy because we ordered pizza with that money. Like that was the money we used on our Friday nights to just, have a good time. So that was my expectation. And so if I get the, like yesterday now, 2 stacks, I don't know how many bundles I had out there, but I've achieved and I've succeeded. My success has been obtained. I'm not looking now to say, all right, now I need to have another roadside stand, or I need to have 3 roadside stands, and I need to get to the point where all of a sudden, I can't keep up with the demand. I don't want to do that, and so I choose not to do that. Like bigger is not always better. More is not always going to give you more satisfaction. So I don't know, just the one little thing I wanted to touch on this morning. Like I said, yesterday I was kind of crappy out, it was cold, we have all this snow, there wasn't really anything to do in the wood yard. But this morning then I was reading emails and I just got thinking about, I get asked all the time, like, what do I need to get started in firewood? And even now, like content creation, I started out as a BTU maker and now I'm a content creator. So it's kind of nice to look back and see the path that I've taken, but then to pass on the knowledge of, don't look at what you need starting out with as far as equipment. Like the number one thing you need is that self-awareness to know what you're getting into and to just, tell yourself, hey, maybe you're only going to sell 1 cord a month, but that could be still success for you. So don't get caught up in numbers and what others are doing. Just be aware of what you can do and what you want to do. So there you go. That's just my quick little video I wanted to throw out there this morning. And hopefully if you would email, I will respond to your email as well, but hopefully you see this and you can maybe interpret it a little bit better than just reading it. Sometimes hearing it is much better than just reading an email response. So self-awareness, get some, it'll do you good.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting